I am
Welcome,
so ready
everyone.
for this.
Welcome to episode 5 of the official Triflow Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Van, along with Sal, bringing you interesting conversations from people across the business spectrum. If you're interested in marketing, capitalistic venture, and all things business, you've come to the right place. So, what are we going to be talking about today, Mr. Sal?
I don't know, man. I mean, this is it. I mean, this is it.
We're doing
It's
it.
happening.
We're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it. Digital marketing. I mean, we've talked about everything else except for digital marketing. I mean, we're a digital marketing company, and I'm not really sure why we left it to the 5th episode, but this is how how we roll. And
Yeah.
the longer the suspense, the better the drop, I guess.
That's right.
This is it. Digital marketing.
So digital marketing. So we can specify digital marketing, but marketing in general. I just wanted to hit on as a quick point. It's something that you don't even realize you're taking it for granted until you learn a little bit about it, because obviously the free market has not existed forever.
Yep.
It's a concept that we had to create, and even currently, right now, there are certain countries that don't believe in it. So I feel like we're very fortunate to be living in a first world country that also allows capitalism to be its main sort of, the country's ideology, right? Or its system of work, the free market. Anybody is allowed to start their business, and to grow and to prosper through the current system. It's not perfect, but I mean, compared to everything else that's currently out there right now, let's just say, I don't want to name countries, but I'm just happy I'm not living in North Korea.
I know. I mean, we can really get political here and mix things up. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's the internet, man. The internet is connecting everybody. And I mean, some places, don't have Facebook like China and things like that. But, at the end of the day, people will find ways. There's VPN and there are other things. But it is the network that's connecting all the countries. And now, rather than having a market in, every country individually, that is, whether it's a capitalist country or other than that, where you have a physical store in the market, you can have a virtual one online. And guess what? Because of the internet, anybody can find that, they can find a way to get through the network all the way to the store online, because it's a virtual one, right? So it just changes the game. It's a whole different ball game right now. It's not just, I'm in Toronto, I want to go do some shopping for the spring, right? It's springtime here. Next week is May. I can't even believe that, man.
I know, the weather is amazing right now.
It is.
I love it.
It is. So people are going shopping, right? So you don't have to go take an Uber or take a cab to the mall. You can literally be in Texas and be shopping from a store here in Toronto, and you'll get shipped, the stuff, in 2 days shipping, right? So, this really has changed the game. It's
crazy because there's, I remember around Christmas time last year, there were literally ads. I don't know if it was Winners or Hudson's Bay, but it was a store, like one of the stores where you don't have to buy online. And their advertisements were saying, like, do you have online fatigue? Like, they were in serious competition with online stores, so much so that they had to print an ad about it saying, don't buy online, like, just physically come into a store. You don't have to wait for shipping. You just instantly get it. And they made a joke out of it, but it's like, it's clearly they're scared if they have to make that kind at, right? So
but
it just goes to show how popular online shopping is.
And at the same time, I'm a busy guy, we're all busy people, 2019, time is the most valuable asset. And, I take Ubers, everywhere. I take cabs, and I like to do my shopping when I'm inside the Uber, man. Like, I like to, compare prices and things like that. And then that way I don't have to go to waste, an hour in traffic to get to the mall and then another hour back. And, so, I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what the brick and mortar stores do, Unless they really, really change the game in a sense where, we're talking about VR and you can literally go to the store from in your whatever. I mean, it could be anywhere, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It is honestly a crazy concept.
Yeah,
and that is one of the things I wanted to jump on with you is the concept of growing technology and sort of the positives and the negatives potentially that would come with that. So I was just recently listening to another podcast, and they were talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So we still don't know when it's coming, so there's no due date for the baby. But
oh, it's coming, baby. It's coming.
They're working on it, so once it comes,
it's gonna take a while.
Actual consciousness or perceived consciousness, once we actually create a thing that is self-aware, it's there are tons of people that are scared. Other people are super excited. For me, there's nothing I can do about it, so I just don't worry one way or the other. But I can see both sides of it, right? The positives having a lot to do with business. Especially online business or businesses that work on things like marketing and stuff like that. It can be beneficial to the point where, us here at PieFlow, we could just create a list of what we want and then put it into a program that you can buy online for like $500 or something. It's like buying a gaming console. It's just like this box comes in the mail and then you click it on and then all of a sudden there's this thing. And you just put whatever you want into it, and it'll just start doing it. And then instantly, it's like you have 5 million workers underneath you.
Yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, honestly, the possibilities are endless, and I mean, AI itself is very powerful, of course, right? I mean, but at the same time, like nowadays, we're still like really in the early stages of it. I mean, I'm not really sure in marketing. I mean, there are a lot of companies that are trying to use AI as a buzzword and things like that. But a lot of companies right now are investing or wanting to invest money in AI, and they have all these consultants that are specialized in areas of to advise against or what are some of the things that could happen wrong in AI. And an example of that is like they were testing like some of these self-driving cars, right? Because that's how they learn how to drive in an environment. But at the same time, like for instance, if somebody went and put a sticker on the stop sign or on the speed sign where the sticker could appear as its higher speed or a lower speed, and the camera could read it that way, it could really mess up some things. At the same time, AI is only as good as like the data that it is getting fed into it, because at the end of the day, you have all this data that's being inputted into this machine, and that's how it starts learning and coming with basically outcomes based on certain circumstances, right? But if you feed it like biased data, and that could be like, if we're talking about marketing, it could be as simple as data that's related to people that are Hispanic, or if they're more likely to buy certain types of clothes, or people that are Caucasian, if they're less likely to buy a certain type of tie or whatever. If you input that data into the software, it will make all its decisions based on that initial data. So how do you avoid that
being biased or manipulated incorrectly?
So that's kind of and I had this conversation with somebody that was actually a librarian, and she was just reading a lot about it, and she was doing research, and she knew some consultants that work for PwC, and that's where I'm bringing all this information from. But the place where it could be, the place where this AI technology could be used is, and is probably used right now is to, you know, collect data about certain types of customers and their behavior and how they are buying certain things and deciding when they're going to buy again or whether or not they're buying again, and, or you know, so something like that. But I mean, really, who knows? The possibilities are endless again. But yeah.
Because so far it seems that we're building it from the top down. So, you know, it may be able to beat the best player at the game of chess, but if, you know, like this is one of the examples I heard on the podcast, but there could be a 4-year-old child that just decides to create new rules for the game where you have to pick up the chessboard and just throw all the pieces out in a trash can and then pick them back all up again and try and put them in the right order. And then the AI can't do that because it doesn't know how to manipulate physical space, and as soon as you change the rules, it doesn't know what to do with itself because it doesn't have intuition. So that's like one of the core things missing. It's like we've created super intelligence, but only in specific ways. Only
like it doesn't know how to make decisions based on, you know, that knowingness that comes from experiences, which it doesn't have.
Yeah, it just doesn't have autonomy. It doesn't have any intuition, and it has no memory, nothing to build on.
I can see that. So I think I think we're really, I mean, it is such a buzzword right now. And I think, you know, we're really far from having something that really works, that's applicable in today's, like, in 2019 at least, because that's what we're talking about, right? Digital marketing in 2019. So I mean, so there are a lot of like things where digital marketing could go, but I think, and this is kind of where I have been noticing digital marketing going, and where it's going to be kind of from my sense, is that it's going to be mostly based on experience, you know, creating experiences for your customer, and experiences that the customer would want to go through when they're buying. So just the customer buying journey, and the more you can tailor it that way for the customer to buy and buy more, you know, because I mean, right now the difference, going back to the market and going to the, you know, the bay to buy clothes, is that when you go to the store, you know, somebody greets you at the door, and you know, it's part of marketing. Like when you go to the Starbucks and try to buy a coffee, you know, somebody, you know, calls you by your name. Hey, what's your name? How's your day going?
They can guide you along as well.
Because and they guide you along, you know, and they give you options, and it is the sales. It is the sales process, but at the same time, it's marketing, because that's the way they're choosing to appear to the customer, you know, to appeal to them to buy or buy more, or for them to have a better purchasing experience. So you can have that in the store with somebody, a person, but how do you create that same feeling experience online on a cell phone, or on an app, or online on a website? And the companies, I believe, that will be able to replicate that faster into existence online, especially, you know, sooner than later, are going to be the ones that will be able to sell more, and of course, you know, have more revenue and invest it more back into the company and grow the company. So that's plus, kind of one thing.
I would even say it's it is just in its own sense fundamentally a different experience. You know, they don't get the chance of seeing, like, walking under lights on, like, going through the door into the store and hearing the music and that kind of stuff. So we can make it similar, but it's also important to look at it as being different. So instead of there being an employee to greet you, we can instead give them sort of like a storytelling journey once they come on.
Like right now, as soon as you go into a website, you'll see the chatbot popping up on the bottom right corner. Or, you know, that's pretty much the person that's at the store. But again, is the chatbot like the optimal way to
help them find what they need?
Help them find what they need, or to present your image of the company, or the company that you're trying to showcase, or is it a video, or is it a series of videos, or what is it? I mean, nobody is. I mean, maybe a lot of people are having this conversation, or conversations. And creating these web apps, possibly.
But it's clearly still in the process. Because nothing has yet to be perfected, because if it did, obviously, that would be the one thing replicated. Because right now we have chatbots, we have like video guide sort of things that go through websites if they're bringing you to a certain product. We have like the storytelling side of it, where they say let's get started, and you click on the button and then it's asking you questions, or it's like trying to bring you through the story of the company. So there's multiple different things being used by the bigger companies, like it's usually all three in different facets, but then by other ones they specialize depending on whatever the niche is.
Or just like trying to make it seem like, hey, this is where you left off last time.
Make it personalized.
Make it personalized, and like especially through some of the retargeting ads that people are running, like, hey, you watched this ad before, and this is where you watched it till 30 seconds because we tracked how many seconds you watched, and but you didn't do this. Well, you're really missing out because this is the product that you want to buy. Okay, I mean that's really nice. Can you make it more custom to specific groups of people? Of course you can, and that's like, that's why I feel like AI is going to be the next level, but the next level is going to be big data. And big data has been on the talks for a long time, but data and data scientists and people that understand how to that have analytical minds, like engineers or analysts, analysts in general. Programmers that can look at data and come up with possibilities or come up with conclusions based on data, and then presenting something new or something in a different way based on a hypothesis, and doing like all this A/B testing and things like that is going to be the way to go, because then your customer feels like, hey, like these people actually cared enough to study me enough to study my needs. I mean, some of them, like, there's a lot of Facebook scandals right now that are going on.
I was gonna say, I think it's a give and take. It's a give and take, right? The bigger thing is that it's not going anywhere. There aren't any laws being put down to stop this, and plus it's probably too hard to. So the data collection is going to happen regardless, whether or not the ethics of it are perfectly in line. And it's one of those situations that's kind of like a job well done is a job not noticed at all. Where if you can personalize something for someone where they don't notice, then you're doing a better job than, like, for example, Amazon. Like, let's say you buy a dishwasher on Amazon, and then just now for the rest of your life you're going to get nothing but ads for dishwashers. That's like an algorithm gone haywire, where it's like, clearly you only ever buy one dishwasher. You're not going to be buying 30
the AI is definitely glitching there.
It doesn't exactly work out in that sense, but so because that is honestly a kind of a big question. Like, the data collection, is this morally okay, or is this something we should actually stand against?
To be honest with you, like, I mean, this is just for me personally, like, a lot of stuff, is on the internet about people. I mean, some people are really secretive about certain things. Are you still there?
Yeah, still here.
I think that's my Flash always does that after a certain time.
Okay.
So 1 second.
Sure. You're looking good. You got good lighting.
I think I do have to plug in my phone.
Okay. If it's gonna die, yes, by all means.
Yeah, we're still good there. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about that data. For me personally, if I'm online and I feel like most of my data is already online. Like
especially if you post it, right? We're actively giving ourselves a public
and
profile.
at the end of the day, like what are you trying to hide? Like, I mean, really, like, what are you trying to hide? There's really nothing to hide. I mean, do you want to see ads? No, I don't. Just turn up. Just put an ad blocker, man. Or just put an ad block, and then that's it. End of story. Because regardless, you really don't know who's like. Today, I just got a text message saying, get your refund by clicking on this link. And of course, it's a fraud. But I mean, if you gotta have common sense. Like if I clicked on the link, am I gonna go and put my banking information there? Of course not. But I mean, like my phone number was there. Most people's phone numbers are in the phone book, like the 411.
Because that's an issue. Some people talk about is them getting like phone calls from random scammers,
right?
But before the internet existed, phone scamming still existed because of landlines.
Yeah.
So even though cell phones now make it hard for you to find out who is who as far as landline go, it is something preventable if you don't put your phone number out there, because then it's anyone's cell phone number. But
like at the end of the day, with this security thing, okay?
Yeah.
And I spoke with a lawyer about this, and what he said was this: you need to make sure that if you're collecting data about people, you need to ask them first if it's okay to collect the data. Like this checkbox, and right now
the terms and conditions.
The terms and conditions that on every website, the cookies one, where you go on and they ask you to click check mark and okay. I mean, like, you're not gonna see the website if you're not gonna click that. Like.
Yeah,
or you know what I mean? Or I don't know. Can they collect? I mean, maybe you'll be able to see the website, but
yeah, it's depending on the website, because I think a lot of journalistic websites currently, they don't let you see it unless you accept.
There we go. So as long as you ask people to be able to collect their data, then you're okay.
Fair game. Yeah.
It's a fair game. And now the second thing is, once you have their data. And this is where like Facebook messed up. If you're selling it to other people, then that's where things can get really messy. And then the third one is, like, if you have the data, there are like hackers out there, right? Like Facebook could have said, oh, the Russian hackers came in and they actually just stole the data, and they're the ones that sold it. You want to be able to secure the data, and that's where I think like the crypto technology and having data in secure places, that's where I think that the crypto technology is going to come in handy. Just having that encryption on the data to make sure that the data is secure. As long as you ask people for the data, as long as you make sure that the data is in a secure place, and as long as you don't sell the data, you're going to be fine. And the whole purpose of collecting the data is really to at the end of the day, to be able to increase the revenue of the. I don't know who's calling me.
Oh, there you go.
A lot of interruption on this podcast.
One thing I was gonna say is it's optimization. So all they're trying to do is just make a better personalized experience for you.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm sure the rates go up depending on certain people, but like for myself, I don't buy things any more or less than I ever did.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, and obviously not buying much of anything, but my habits haven't grown. Like, I'm not a shopaholic now that things are personalized because I have an online profile.
Nice.
It's just about a friendlier experience.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, at the end of the day, you're the person that's going to decide and going to click, like, ship this product or not. It's not going to be somebody that's going to come and click the mouse for you, right? Like, it's you know, at the end of the day, you're going to be able to make a decision. So it's just really to personalize the data. I mean, to track you down and show you more products that are similar to the ones that you already bought, which are more likely that you're going to actually like to buy. Sure. I mean, I kind of want to see that if there are better things that I would want to be interested to see. So yeah, so that's kind of the security privacy thing. But we brought this up because we were talking about data, and I feel like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of innovation and possibilities to personalize and customize experiences based on, you know, being able to read and configure the data better. Yeah.
So if it takes actually creating an AI to do that, that's one thing. I think it can slowly be, you know, worked on, like it currently is, right? I mean, people every single day are trying to make things like more optimized.
Yeah, like right now, this is happening. Like whatever we're talking about right now, just
currently it's progressing.
Yeah, like so that we're not really talking in the cloud. Like you can really do this, like running campaigns, collecting data, like right now via Facebook and Instagram, collecting data. Like let's say again, if you're we're working with a lot of realtors. If you're a realtor, you know, collecting data about the people that viewed certain ads and how they interacted with the ad, and you know, retargeting them again and showing them a different house, and you know, bringing them to a sales page where, you know, you can really track where they're clicking on the page. You know, Hotjar is the software that does that, and you know, based on that flow, you can really come back and talk to the customer again and again and again until really they say, hey, don't really, you know, block this ad, or don't really show me this ad again. And then, you know, that's pretty much it. That's where it ends. It's really like you're going to the store and you have somebody that comes, talks to you, and or like somebody at the Starbucks, and you say, hey, no, I don't really want to buy. So at the end of the day, the customer will always have the power of the purchasing decision. It's just going to be, you know, a more tailored, custom experience.
It's where the future's heading, and so, like, it's not going to stop regardless, but because it's happening, sort of lay down the general ethics that should be used, right? The customer's always right, that aspect, right? That should never change.
100%. Yeah.
We shouldn't be harassing people because we have their information. Encryption is very important. I know Google is really good at that, so Facebook, they got to get their act together. I guess, right?
LinkedIn is good at that too.
Yeah, LinkedIn. So, optimization, the freedom to withdraw at any point on the customer side, right? So, it's all, as people promoting business, we can do on the marketing side, right? I mean, we're providing a service for our clients, and our clients are people in business who are selling to other people. So, what we do has to be on that ethical spectrum as well, right? We're not doing anything unethical. Especially because technology grows so fast that the law can't really keep up with it, right? There's a lot of like Facebook got away with everything it did, even though it seems on an ethical side maybe it should have been illegal to sell to third parties. So it'll catch up slowly, so long as some, you know, that we don't have an AI explosion happen next year or something like that. You know, I think we're doing okay with it. And I mean, technology, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you're just gonna have better technologies, and you know, I really just can't wait for 5G to happen, because that will really change the game. I mean, everyone's talking about, you know, the health, you know, the health just kind of you know, effects of 5G, and you know, cancer and things like that. But I mean, we already have so many radiations that are running around us that, you know, I mean, more of it is not going to help, but you know, we'll go green to compensate.
We'll definitely go green to compensate. You can do that, but I mean, still the radiation will still be there. did you know that there's paint that is against radiation? So like you can really literally paint the walls of your home with this paint where the radiation will really come through. Yeah, that's a thing. Like that, so that like Wi-Fi radiation or 5G radiation will really come in. And there are a lot of people that are actually sensitive about these things.
Some people have a sensitivity. There was I heard about someone who was like deathly sensitive to radiation. They couldn't have TVs or radio or anything in their house.
Yeah, but once 5G hits and then you're able to show videos, like right now it's so hard to like go on a website where there are a lot of videos and you're not able to see, because that's where video is the next. I mean, everybody's talking about video and digital marketing and selling via video, because video brings you like the actual essence of somebody. And that could be the person that will greet you at the store, right? It could be the person that will greet you at that sales page, right? And take you through this journey step by step. But I need a lot of video, and how am I gonna watch video on a crappy Wi-Fi or like an LT network that's it's okay, but it's not fast enough for me to see it in 4K, right? So
we can always do better.
We can always do better, but at the same time, we're really catching up, and we didn't really talk a lot about video, but really video is as custom, as personal it can get right now, because you can really you can really track where people left off in the video. Two, the person is there, and you can see the person, he's communicating to you an idea, and you're listening. Some people don't like to watch video, so they would read the text, but again, like video is the closest it can get to real life. I think video and digital marketing is going to be huge, and not a lot of people are comfortable to be in front of a camera and shooting video. I mean, it is
it's like a skill set.
It's a skill set for sure, and a lot of people will need to start just being comfortable in front of the camera, and that is a process. It's not like, like this is it, just because a lot of people are just everybody has their own insecurities and things like that, and
it definitely takes courage.
Courage.
If you're courageous enough to start a business,
right?
What's another step?
Right. Exactly. So I mean, every business owner should have no constraints against just holding up the camera and just talking about their business, because that's really at the end of the day what they're passionate about, and that's what they preach. That's what they preach every day to everybody they see. So it shouldn't be really hard, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, it's also
it's
people
just new.
People just want to present their best self, and that's where you need to be able to really just be presentable, and at the same time not bore people, but again, at the end of the day, if people are not interested in whatever you're talking about anyways, then you don't want to be talking to them anyways. So the people that are going to be listening and watching to you are the ones that really want to hear from you. So it's just about time, and I think that's where a lot of people are going to be heading towards, because that's kind of the most real thing to real life, or the closest thing to real life is just somebody, just having, because like the cold call, if you think about it, is really having somebody on the other line and you're hearing their voice. And it's
a real person. It's not
and that's how people are building businesses. So the next step to that is really just putting up image, and then once you have that, then you want to be presentable, right? You want to have the good the best or the better or the nicer online image, and that's why you go hire a digital marketing company that specializes in making sure that you look your best, or making sure that you bring the best out of you. So
you got your A game,
and and you're on your A game, and just communicating what you need to communicate to people. So and that's where the gap is, really, and that's why we need digital marketing, and that's why we need digital marketing more in 2019 than we ever needed it before. Is that bringing yourself out there and just communicating to people what you bring to the table. Of course, you have to be adding value, and what you can bring to the table, and being original. And that's where it's gonna, because everybody's gonna be like, oh, well, Gary Vee is doing it that way, so I should do it that way, or whatever is doing it this way, so I should do it this way.
You gotta be yourself.
Yeah, you gotta be original, because otherwise, if you're not original, then
it shows.
You're just like everybody else. And then why? Then there's no attraction. There's nobody's going to be like, oh, this is different. Like, I haven't seen this before, and I'm actually interested, and I'm actually curious. So, how do you bring your original self in such a way that is, curious to somebody, that shows interest, that is in a sense presentable in a digital marketing world, using the tools that are in the digital marketing world right now of funnels or sales pages or whatever it is,
that's video.
Tracking the customer journey, retargeting them, and doing all that stuff. There's no way you'll be able to do that on your own. That's why you got to hire a digital marketing company, right? So
exactly.
It sounds like I'm really pitching.
Well, I was about to say, in case anyone didn't know, our company name is Triflow Digital Media Marketing Company. So please look us up, Google us, follow us in the link. This will be on our page.
Just comment on this live.
Of course.
Just comment below, or send us a message on our Facebook page. If you have any questions, or because it's really different. It's really having a business is one thing, and preaching your business on a daily basis is one thing, but then having to learn digital marketing to do your business is it's
a beast all on its own.
You're just procrastinating. You're just going on a detour to be able to do what you're really supposed to do, which is your business, right?
Excelling in your business.
And excelling in your business and growing your business online, but your skill set. You're the expert in your business. You're not the expert in
digital marketing.
The customer, the customer purchasing journey, or retargeting ads, or knowing what kind of ads to show to who, and segmenting your the customer, or the lists that you have for your customers, segmenting them, and then retargeting them based on the segmentation. All these things, like, it's endless, the amount of tools and things that are out there and they will keep coming, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, but who knows? And how would you know in 2019 which marketing tool to use? So it's definitely a lot of things to consider, but if you can own data about people that are interested in your business, and you can keep that data securely,
you got to do your best to take advantage of that.
Like right now, when it's actually cheap to buy this data, because down the road it's going to be expensive to buy this data, and if you miss the chance to buy the data, you might be out of business. So it's really an interesting time that we live in, and digital marketing in 2019, it's going to be very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely, me too. Well, hey, Sal, this has been a great talk.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure having me again on the Triflow
Yeah,
Podcast.
exactly. It's been great having you. It's been great having
thank you. It's been great, talking to you as well. And we're having a guest next week, Shauna, who's going to be speaking. Do you want to talk a little bit about Shauna, or
Yeah. Well, I don't want to give too much away.
No, don't give too much.
We'll mention it in the podcast, but just to get people a little excited with the teaser.
It kind of goes along the lines of business owners and them wanting to go online and starting their own online image, online brand, and what they really have to go through in the process to be able to do that, because it's not really an easy process.
That's right. But yeah, and her name is Shauna, and we'll just leave it at that, because a lot of the interviews we do, they sort of speak for themselves, right?
Nice.
So we'll just let them do that. So please, everybody, stay tuned. Come back next week. It's going to be exciting.